Breaking news coming in. India has rejected Canada's allegations over a killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada. India has issued a statement and I quote, "We have seen and reject the statement of Canadian Prime Minister in their parliament as also the statement by their foreign minister. Allegations of Government of India's involvement in any act of violence in Canada are absurd and motivated. Similar allegations were made by the Canadian Prime Minister to our Prime Minister and were completely rejected. We are a democratic polity with a strong commitment to rule of the law, and such unsubstantiated allegations seek to shift the focus from Khalistani terrorists and extremists who have been provided shelter in Canada and continue to threaten India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The inaction of Canadian government on this matter has been a long-standing and a continuing concern. The Canadian political figures have openly expressed sympathy for such elements that remains a matter of deep concern. The space given in Canada to a range of illegal activities, including murders, human trafficking, and organized crime, is not new, and we reject any attempts to connect the Government of India to such developments." The statement further read, and I quote, "We urge the Government of Canada to take prompt and effective legal action against all anti-India elements operating from the soil." Well, that is latest coming in as far as India's crackdown on Khalistani is concerned. India has rejected Canada's allegations over killing of a Khalistani terrorist, and at this point in time, India has also issued a statement saying that we have seen and reject the statement of Canadian Prime Minister in the Parliament, and it rejects the allegations and says that Government of India's involvement in any act of violence in Canada are absurd and motivated. Well, similar allegations were also made by the Canadian Prime Minister to our Prime Minister, and even then they were completely rejected. This is what the statement read by the Indian government. It also says that we are a democratic polity with a strong commitment to the rule of law. Such unsubstantiated allegations seek to shift the focus from Khalistani terrorists and extremists. Let's listen in to this reaction coming in from the Canadian Foreign Minister.
Since this was brought to our attention, we've been guided by three principles. The first one, we will seek the truth. The second one, we will protect Canadians at all times. And thirdly, we will protect Canada's sovereignty. I've conveyed these principles to my Indian counterpart, and I've also told him that we expect India's full collaboration to make sure that we get to the bottom of this. And as of today, and as a consequence, we've expelled a top Indian diplomat from Canada.
All right, my colleague Rishabh is joining us live on the broadcast to give us more details on this. Rishabh, India has firmly rejected Canada's allegations over killing of a Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada. It was earlier as well that India had rejected similar allegations when the Canadian Prime Minister had, made such claims with the Indian Prime Minister. So what exactly is happening around all this things now?
Well, if you see, the Canadian Prime Minister has made a statement, in an emergency statement, has said that there is a possibility of Indian government's hand in killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was killed, remember, in front of Gurudwara back in June this year. The Foreign Minister of Canada, Melanie Joly, has come out with a statement that the government is investigating the case, and they have expelled one top diplomat of Indian High Commission in Canada. Now, India has outrightly rejected it, calling it baseless, unsubstantial, and have also called it that such move is just a divergent technique to remove the focus from the Khalistani terrorists and Khalistani extremism that is happening in Canada and India has shown concern. Remember, back earlier this month when the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, was here in India in a pull-aside meeting, the Indian Prime Minister had schooled him for Khalistan and have very categorically said that Khalistan issue needs to be looked into. India is concerned about what's happening in Canada and the way Canadian government and authorities are handling the whole issue. Now, what we are learning that Canada has, put the blame on India for Nijjar's death and has expelled a top Indian diplomat. India categorically has rejected this and has called it unsubstantial and has very clearly stated that India is a democratic polity which believe in rule of law. Any such allegation is baseless as well as unsubstantial.
All right, Rishabh, thank you for getting us all the details.